Good morning, students. Welcome back to Atmiya Green School. This is Afrin Sayed, your English teacher. Dear students, we are here with our chapter Grandpa's Tree. Grandpa's Tree is a very beautiful story with a great message where it actually deals with how a mother and son deal with his paralysis after a fall. The transcontinental dissonance imagines a world where wheelchairs are the norm. And first World War featured an elf who helps a boy with dyslexia embrace his need for the assistive technology. It is an elementary story. Will I understand it? I'll not give you a brief summary because I'll go on explaining this chapter along with a video which will make it easier for you to understand, as well as it is a bit much entertaining. We'll learn that what does this lesson teaches us and what life lesson we need to understand from this chapter. So I'll play the video, along with that I'll read and explain. Eric stared up at the oak tree in the front yard. You can see a boy sitting on a wheelchair, and there is an oak tree in his front yard. So, looking at that oak tree, Eric was wondering something. Now, what was he wondering? Like, who might have grown this tree? So his parents told him that his grandfather had planted it 30 years ago. So this oak tree was about 30 years old. And his parents told that it was planted by his grandfather. Now, Eric was wondering that how did his grandfather might have grown this. So he imagines that his thin grandpa leaning over a hole in a ground. A bucket by his side with the sapling in it. Now he's imagining that how his grandpa might have grown this tree. Gently parting the earth for what would one day be the messy tree. So he says that his grandfather might be gently parting that earth, and just sowing those seeds inside the ground, so that one day that little seed will become a massive tree. Knowing Grandpa, he would have finished the job neatly, then brought over his lawn chair and sat and admired his work for a few hours. So we always know our dear ones. We know their habits. We know that how they behave at the times. And here Eric says that he knows his grandpa very well, that after completing his work, he might have bought his lawn chair and sat over there just admiring his work for the very few hours. So his grandpa, we can assume that his grandfather have the habit of sitting in the lawn with a chair and then praising his own work, appreciating his own work for few hours. Smiling and watching the tree grow, last night when his mother said they were cutting down the tree, Eric tried to tell his parents that the tree was planted as a sign of grand passing. So now one day what happened? He heard his mother speaking that they are going to cut that tree. They are going to chop that tree from the yard. But Eric is upset because he finds that tree is their grandpa's love. Of course, because he thinks that his grandfather had put a lot of efforts in just sowing that little seed and then looking and watching that how the tree is growing. So he really don't want that tree to be chopped from the backyard. His mother began to cry. She pointed to Eric's wheelchair and said, "That tree is coming down tomorrow," and ran from room. Eric said, "Just clear his throat," and shrugged. "Dad," Eric said, "it's not tree's fault or Grandpa's that I fell out of it. Cutting the tree down will make me feel worse." So, what happened? Why she wanted that tree should be chopped off? When he said that this tree should not be chopped as it was his grandpa's law. So she cried and she said that that tree is going to be chopped anyhow, whatever it is. So she was very firm with her words, pointing towards his wheelchair. Now his father was sad also. Now he says that it is not. Now Eric said that it is not. It is not that tree's fault that I just fell off. It was something which was going to happen, and that happened. So today Eric was on wheelchair. It was only because of the circumstances which had actually took place, and by chance or due to an accident he just fell off that tree, and his mother considered that the tree was the reason that he was on the wheelchair. Your mother just doesn't want to have to look at that tree. So his father says that it is just that your mother don't want to look at that tree because that tree reminds her of your weakness. That tree reminds her of what you are going through. Try to understand that, his father said. Eric shook his head, wheeled out of the dining room. Eric shook his head and wheeled out of the dining room. He didn't understand what good it would do to cut down the tree now. Now his father said that it is good for you. Your mother don't want that this tree to be to be there in your yard because it keeps reminding her. Now here, Eric says that what good it will be doing, what good it would do, whether he will be fine again just by cutting down the tree. Does it even make sense to do this thing? Because if we cut down the tree, Eric is not going to become perfect again. He is not going to be well again. So he thinks that it is not worthy to cut down that tree. He is sad now. But it would be one less sign of having grandpa around. Of course, it is not going to change anything, but yes, it will be something which will make him realize that his grandpa is not around. That tree was making him realize that tree was a kind of giving him love from his grandpa because his grandpa planted that tree, so there was affection, there was a emotional attachment with the tree which was giving to little Eric, because while that tree was around him he feels that his grandpa is just beside him or his grandpa is just nearer to him, and Eric didn't want that. Suddenly, he knew what he had to do. He rolled over into the bottom of the tree in his wheelchair and looked up to find the place he usually started his climb. It was still there. A pack in a tree he hammered in a year ago. So he was looking at the tree, and what he was looking, he knew, now he got the idea that what he has to do. So he was looking at pack in a tree which he used to climb upside the tree. So year ago he had hammered a pack so that he could climb that tree easily. You can see in the picture that there are stair kind of things made or hammered inside the tree so that it is easier to climb that tree. So what does he did? When he started climbing the tree, when he missed Grandpa, but now instead of it being in a place where he could jump up, it was out of Now over here, when he saw the pack, he realized that now he need a new pack to climb because it was out of his reach. He hammered in a few more packs at lower height. Now he hammered few more packs to the lower height. As he did this, he planned his route up the tree. Now he had just made his way to climb up the tree. Realizing that he could climb most of the way up using his arms. Now he thought that he'll be using his arms and climb up the tree. The chin-ups he would be doing to strengthen his arms would came in handy today. He checked his watch. The tree cutters were coming in half an hour. He had to hurry. Tossing the hammer to the ground, Eric reached to the first pack. Now you can see how he's trying. Now it was just an hour left that almost those tree cutter were going to show up. And he wanted that he just finish the work as soon as possible. So tossing the hammer on the ground, Eric reached for the first pack. He is using his arm to climb. He felt his body lift up of the wheelchair as he pulled himself up the tree, and then miraculously he was climbing again. Now, with the help of those packs, he was climbing again, and it was not less than a miracle. When he reached the packs, he used to use his body went into automatic, one hand reaching over the other until he pulled himself up off the way. Now you can see that how he is using his body, how he is using his strength, how he is using his hands and those arms to climb up the tree. And with the help of packs, it was easier for him. He stopped and steadied himself. Then he leaned his back against the truck and lifted first his left, then his right up over to correct position to sit. Now you can see now he's comfortably sitting on the tree with a perfect position. It's this big oak tree over here, he heard his mother saying about 15 minutes later. Eric saw her walk beneath him, followed by two men wearing orange t-shirts. One of them looked over at the wheelchair, then peered up into the tree and saw Eric. So now suddenly his mother came up with the two guys who were wearing orange color t-shirt, and she was telling them that here is this big oak tree. Now Eric just reached at the top. Now suddenly one of the men saw the wheelchair, and he looked up and he found Eric over there. Eric waved at him. Ma'am, what do you want us to do about him? So he asked, what do you want us to do about that boy? Eric's mother looked up, then stepped back. She was surprised. Eric, how did you get up there? So when Eric's mother saw that Eric has climbed up the tree, she was very surprised, and she was angry too. That how did you get up there? Help him down. The tree cutter scratched his hand and grinned. Ma'am, but he's pretty good climber. I don't know if I can get him down from there. You must have some equipment or something. So now Eric's mother asked those two guys in the orange t-shirt who came up to cut the tree to help him and just get the Eric down. But he refused. He told that he is a very good climber. I cannot do that. So she said that you might at least have some equipment. Just get him down. He will fall. Eric, what's the matter with you? Nothing, Mom, Eric said. In fact, I am feeling so good. I don't know what you are up to, Eric, but that tree is coming down today. So her mother told that whatever you do, whatever you are going to do, no matter how much you try, this tree is going to be chopped today. Okay, so she wants that this tree should be chopped at any cost, and she wants Eric that no matter how much he try, nothing is going to help. His mother turned uh, to the two men. Go get your equipment. He will down by the time you get back. The two men walked off toward their truck. Eric could see them shaking their heads. He looked down at his mother, who continued to remain planted in one spot, staring up at him. Mom, I'm not coming down. So what does happen? She asked those two men that go get your equipment by the time Eric will be down. Now she was staring, she was continuously staring at Eric. If you have ever noticed your mother when you do something wrong, or when she finds something that is wrong, and when she is not happy with happenings or whatever is going on, what does she do? She look at you with a very angry face, and she keeps on staring at you. She might not speak anything, but just her gaze, just her look towards us with angry eyes is enough to scare us. And she was trying to scare Eric so that he come down. But Eric was stubborn. He said, Mom, I'm not coming down. You most certainly are. You got yourself up there, so get down now. So what does she said? That you climbed the tree itself. Now automatically you have to climb it down. As you went up there with your own self, he climbed himself. So she wanted that he should come down by himself without anyone's help. So she says that the way he got up, in the same way he should get down. No, I want you to listen to me, Mom, please. And then Eric added, don't you see that this tree is gift from Grandpa? It reminds me of him every day. That's why I love to climb it. And I want to still climb it. Please, Mom, don't take that away from me. His mother shook her head. But Eric, if only he didn't plant it, you wouldn't have fallen. You wouldn't need this wheelchair, she said. So, Eric said that please understand, this tree got an emotional attachment with me, as it was planted by grandfather, and whenever I climbed this tree, it makes me feel that this tree is nearer to me, and this grandpa is very close to my heart. So he says that this tree, I love climbing this tree, and I'll keep climbing on this tree because it reminds me of a grandpa. Now his mother says that if this tree might have not been in our yard, then you would have never been on the wheelchairs. Mom, Eric said, cutting down the tree is not right thing to do. It's like saying I can't do what I used to love to do, and I can, Mom, more than you think. He saw the two men coming back to the tree carrying saws. His mother shook her head, then she said quietly, I don't know how you did it, Eric. How did you get up there? He pointed down on the base of the tree. I just lowered the pegs, Mom. That's all. It's safe, honest. My arms are really strong, and I think it's good exercise so I can push the chair better. So, what happens? Eric says that this is no way going to help. Cutting down the tree is not the solution, because it is not going to stop him doing with something which he loves and he really enjoys it. So he says that now his mother wonder that how he got up there. So he says that his arms need to be strong as he need it to push the chair. So while the way he just climb up the tree through the pegs help him to make those arms stronger. So they are basically strengthening his arms. So it is really good to climb up like this. Mother reached over and touched the lowest peg on the tree. Then nodded and turned to the man. All right, she said, just send us a bill for your time. So now Eric's mother understood it well that okay, it's fine and it's safe. When she checked the packs, she was convinced, and she asked those men to get back and just send her bill so that she can pay them because she took there some time. The tree isn't coming down. She waited few moments and placed her left foot on the lowest peg. Then hesitating, she put her right foot on the next peg. Slowly she climbed up looking at Eric as she did not until she got to the branch. Then she sat on the branch smiling at him. See mom, it's not so scary, is it? Eric asked. So now his mother also went up and climbed the tree with the help of those pegs. So Eric was asking, did you find it scary? Did you enjoy it? Truthfully, I'm terrified, she said, laughing. She looked down at the house yard and grinned. But I should have come up here a while ago. It is a great view, isn't it? So she said that I'm frightening. It is a bit frightening. I'm terrified with this. But I think that I should have come here little before because the view from the tree is beautiful. It's a great view. It's fantastic view, Eric said. Grandpa would have loved what you did today, Mother said. So now Mother was praising praising her child that if your grandpa would have been alive, he would be so happy seeing his Eric be so conscious and so much loving towards the gift he gifted him, because that was a kind of gift which grandpa gave to them, and Eric was taking care of it completely. Eric nodded. Then he reached for his mother's hand, and there they sat in the tree together. Look, students, how happy picture it is that a child is holding his mother's hand and enjoying the view in the arms of his grandpa. The story teaches us or taught us that how few things are very important to us. They might not speak, they might not walk, they might not give you the equal affection, but the affection which the person gave, actually it's not about the gift, it's not about what it is, but it is from whom you have received it, who have gifted you this, and our emotional and sentimental attachment with that person and the respect which we show towards our elder people, towards our grandparents, towards our parents is what does it all matter. It was not about the tree, but it was about the love he carries in for his grandfather. It was not that he loves to climb the tree. It was something which makes him feel that he is nearer to him. He is closer to grandpa. And that was something which was making him happy. In fact, happiest. Students, it is very necessary that we take care of our parents and our grandparents. Sometimes there are few things which our parents fail to understand, but use the right way to make them understand, and use the right form which makes them realize that you are not wrong. Okay, so The story taught us that we need to respect our parents, our grandparents, and it taught us that how we have a sentimental relation, how we have that empathy with our grandparents, how we have empathy towards our parents, how um, how we feel a belongingness towards non-living things just because they are gifted from our dear ones. This is how the story works. I hope you understood it well and I was fair enough with the story. I just want you to read the textbook once so that it is far much more clearer than before. Okay? Thank you so much, students. Have a great day. Stay safe and stay happy.